You can't make this up. Can't we have just one simple day where Bethesda doesn't prove to the whole world that they're a bunch of incompetent, incapable woke losers? Is that really too much to ask at this point? Fire Todd Howard, fire every developer and janitor at Bethesda, and blacklist them from the games industry. Microsoft, you have a chance to do something good. You can get back for Windows Vista, okay? Or Windows 11 or 12. I don't know, everything you make is honestly garbage at this point. But Bethesda has done it again. Now, granted, this is allegedly, just allegedly, that Bethesda has accidentally leaked a lot of information about Elder Scrolls 6. And honestly, it looks real because this has the typical Bethesda trademark smugness, elitism, self-glazing, and obvious overpraisal. So this does look a little bit reasonable. Plus, I will remind everyone that the Oblivion stealth drop wasn't actually a stealth drop. Anyone who was paying even remote attention knew that it's gonna happen because it was a marketing campaign. Again, it was a not marketing campaign. Nate the Hate is industry plant, in my opinion. And now Elder Scrolls 6. Oh man, it is bad. It is bad.
Massive leaks have just surfaced about Elder Scrolls 6 that reveal the location, world building, combat, quest system, and all new building and traversal mechanics in an overhauled game engine that has Elder Scrolls fans excited.
No one's excited. So first of all, if you have followed Bethesda, then you know that that the people making Fallout 5 wanted to be a $600 game, so that means that they're gonna use AI. And we already know how Bethesda used AI to enrich Starfield and how absolutely horrible that was. So, just from that, you should be afraid. You should be very afraid.
Bethesda has been quietly working on Elder Scrolls 6, and the leaked full title is Elder Scrolls Iliac. The game is set in Hammerfell, the coastal High Rock region of...
We know this. WOKE Betehsda needs a place where they can do all of their WOKE stuff, and, you know, Hammerfell is perfect. Not because it has interesting lore, cultures, and things surrounding it, but because Bethesda can make every NPC black and, you know, the classic WOKE BS.
Tamriel, covering a massive arid region just west of the Skyrim map from 2011. One of the most important key leaks from Elder Scrolls Iliac is that Bethesda has been working to overhaul the Creation Engine 2.0 to modernize it to Creation Engine 3.0.
You know, what's the funny part about this? Obviously, this is a lie. It's never gonna happen because Bethesda already overhauled and improved their useless garbage engine that's still 20 years outdated when they made Starfield. Yes, let that sink in. So they're gonna do it again? At this point, it's just easier to use Unreal Engine 5 like every slop AAA company.
A build that is currently improving Starfield for its multi-platform release. This will make Elder Scrolls Iliac a more fluid and modern gaming engine with a better feel and far less loading screens.
Surely.
It is being reported that interior locations to cities and buildings will be loading screen free, as the engine is being overhauled to allow seamless travel between...
Wait, but I thought that Bethesda said that that's impossible. For their engine. Interesting.
...locations and interiors, leaving loading screens only set for long-range fast travel. The compartmentalized Creation Engine in the past has relied on loading screens for nearly every transition to locations, and Bethesda has made it a priority to modernize the game engine to have continued immersion. This immersion will see players across 11 major cities, with 2 massive fortress cities in the vein of Whiterun.
11 major cities, yes, I believe.
And Windhelm. The visuals and graphic prowess of Elder Scrolls 6 will be manifested thanks to the modern Creation Engine showcase we've seen from Starfield, but brought to its full potential and glory in a fantasy world with high detail many generations past the current Elder Scrolls Online. Combat has seen a huge improvement to high-impact hit-drag melee and swordplay that has been described as very mature, gritty, violent, and bloody.
What do you mean mature?
With dismemberment and wounds up close in first-person combat and third-person gameplay. It is also being confirmed again in this leak.
Okay, so as you can probably already tell, all of this is most likely blatant lies. This just sounds like Bethesda, as always, glazing themselves when they said that, oh, our games have billions of hours of story and experience and gameplay in them, and they're literally referring to Radiant Quest. Yes. Again, this all sounds exactly the over-the-top BS Bethesda stuff. So this is actually kind of believable. Now, granted, the reason why this is absolutely never happening, obviously, is very simple. Because this implies that this is already being made, kind of alongside Starfield. So, you're telling me Starfield was made alongside this game, but Starfield for some reason is using all of the bad shit? And the good stuff is gonna be used in Elder Scrolls 6 while Starfield could have also used the good stuff? You're telling me the people that brought me Space Dragon shouts but worse are gonna somehow make this interesting? I'm sorry. Is the point of this trying to make us believe that somehow Bethesda got all their shit developers working on Starfield, and then all of the good ones were taking and put on Elder Scrolls 6? Are you kidding me? No, this does not make any sense. There's no cohesion, no logic, no nothing to this. So, you know that this is a 100% lie. There is no mistake. There is nothing to misunderstand here. This sounds Bethesda just being Bethesda and glazing themselves. Like when Emil Pagliarino said that players are just too stupid and uneducated to understand the glory of Starfield's story. It's so tiresome. Chief, listen, I'm tired. I'm not actually tired of saying bad stuff about Bethesda. I never will. Oh, it gives me energy. It gives me everything. Oh, my hate for Bethesda is immeasurable. Yes, it's that simple.
That the settlement building will return to Elder Scrolls 6, with castle and fortress building mechanics being added to the series for the first time, allowing you to build your kingdom within the Hammerfell region. Bethesda will also be building upon their legacy games and modern crafting.
Wait. How does but they're black and that would be colonization. So what do you mean build your kingdom? That's bad. That's not woke.
Survival games to create immersive and engagement settlement building mechanics that will be optional with tons of hours of play for fans that want to craft their homestead. But even more surprising is a return rumor that you will be able to build your own battleships from wood and steel to take upon the high coastline for traversal, exploration, and even ship battles that have been made famous by Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Being able to purchase or build ships will include an
Wait, we kind of expected this because keep in mind, this is how Bethesda games actually work. Some people don't understand this, so they think like, oh, ship mechanics and base building, that sounds too much. There's no way that's real. You see, stuff like this actually makes me think that this is real. Again, Bethesda incompetent self-glazing and all of these fucking useless mechanics that no one asked for. Only Bethesda can be so out of touch and stupid to think that we actually want any of this. Okay? Because Bethesda, this is what they do. This is how you can tell if a leak at least has some truth to it or not, or it's just made up. If a leak says that this new Bethesda game has literally every mechanic that the previous ones had, then you know you're on the right track. Because Bethesda is going to make shipbuilding and they're going to insert it in some way into every game. The same that they did with settlements and all of that stuff. They are going to always put all of the stuff they previously made into the new game. So, the fact that this has shipbuilding and ship something makes perfect sense.
optional expansive game mechanic for players that want to spend more time out on the high waters of the Iliac Bay. It's also being revealed that some of the high coastal areas and ship exploration will be supported by procedural generation, while many main areas in the Hammerfell region will be handcrafted and cultivated in the new creation engine. Story and factions are set to be a major and meaningful part of Elder Scrolls Iliac, with competing and rival factions returning from previous Elder Scrolls titles, like the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, the Fighters Guild, and the Mages Guild. There is the
Yep, again, it makes sense.
Imperial Cult, which is said to be not joinable in the campaign, and the Temple of Three, a dark elf religion from Morrowind. The Crowns and Forebears also return, but only one can be joined. But for the first time in over a decade, the Dwemer return, a dwarf-like race of elves that were only hinted at in Elder Scrolls Skyrim, alongside the Orsinium Orcs, making Elder Scrolls Iliac one of the most
God, if they actually do that. I mean, but this also makes sense because the return of the Dwemer has been hinted a lot in a lot of different lore over the years at this point. The just random return of the Dwemer is a thing. It has been hinted a lot in different things. And what happened to the Dwemer is also pretty much, I think, honestly confirmed at this point that they just kind of got teleported away, and that's kind of it. Yeah. So, the return of the Dwemer is also extremely likely. It's just so stupid. Okay? Again, the return of the Dwemer is going to be so unsatisfying. It's going to be unbelievable how bad it's probably going to be. Okay, you need to understand. This is what they did in Starfield with the Shattered Space expansion. They took the only thing that people liked from the base game, House Va'ruun, because they didn't have lore about House Va'ruun. It was just this mystical group of people who are different and live somewhere out there, and they pray to a space snake or something like that. And then, the reason why people liked it was because Starfield was shit. Nothing about the game was good. Literally nothing about the game was good. Except that, you know, the stealth mechanic, when you sat down, you could see the bot actually. That was good. That is literally the only good thing I can say about Starfield, unironically. Unironically, true. Yeah, and then they fleshed out the House Va'ruun in the expansion, and instantaneously it's like one of the worst things in the game now, because it makes no sense. It's lame. It's stupid. And did I say it's stupid and lame and make no sense? Because that's how bad it is. And the return of the Dwemer is... Bethesda will never handle it right. If the Dwemer return, it's probably going to be the lamest, most boring thing anyone has ever heard about, okay? It's probably going to be like, oh, some mage accidentally kind of built a thingamabloop and pressed the button and did bam! Oh no, we were just in a different place. Nothing really happened, per se. You know, we're the same Dwemer, we're just back now, and that's kind of it. You know, nothing really happened, we just took a vacation. That's literally how it's gonna be, probably.
Diverse and fully fleshed out populations since Elder Scrolls Online.
And then there's probably gonna be a new Dwemer subfaction that's like, we traveled to a place and we found a god. What? Wait, why does no one else, though, say that? Why are you the only, like, small handful of people who are saying that? And there's no explanation for that, probably, also. So, when the Dwemer return, get ready to be disappointed.
These leaks have surfaced as far back as 2024, but are now very reminiscent of the Fallout 4 story leaks back in 2014 that ended up becoming true at the game release. The following story setting is very specific and will illustrate to fans what they can expect in Elder Scrolls 6 Iliac. The story that revolves around the Nocturnal, the Perit, and the Akaviri artifact. This means the Elder Scrolls story revolves around Daedric themes and cultist motivations, with all of the included factions fighting for power across Tamriel in the
very base. By the way, boys, like the video right now. Subscribe if you haven't. It takes less than a second, and I greatly appreciate it. Because this truly helps the channel. So everyone who does, thank you. Thank you very much. Every like that you put on the video makes 2 new people see it. So it is a big deal. You actually do have a lot of power in this regard. So, and if you think that this stuff is important, then definitely like and subscribe right now. Takes less than a second. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hammerfell region. A side plot of the story also revolves around the Crown forebears who are also joinable factions opposed to the Talmor. You will be able to fight against the Talmor, the Aldmeri invasion. The landscape, rulers, and towns are all affected by which faction you choose to align with and will be loaded with RPG-based decisions. Since Elder Scrolls 6 was revealed over 8 years ago, Todd Howard...
Okay, so you're telling me not a single RPG decision was put into Starfield, but a lot of RPG decisions are going to be put into Fallout 6. Yes, believable, truly believable. Especially when we consider, you know, the small fact that Starfield was the game that Todd Howard wanted to make since he was a child. So, you know, it was supposed to be the best thing ever, and he was supposed to put in every single thing that he had into making his baby. And, you know, that's, you know, but Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna get all the good shit. Don't worry about it. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Repeatedly told the media that the game is very deep in development and a long way off. But it's being leaked right now that the game is far more ready than they've let on. In fact, it's very likely that we could see the actual reveal of Elder Scrolls 6 at the Developer Direct for Xbox at the end of January 2026.
Oh, Clockwork Revolution, I cannot wait. I think this game is gonna be so bad. Fable is guaranteed the garbage, don't care about Forza. Halo's probably gonna collapse, don't care about it too much, I'm not a Halo dude. Gears of War E-Day, you know that's gonna be some extreme girl power.
January 2026, or as late as the summer showcase for Xbox, with a ready reveal and release date for the end of 2026. Leakers are all saying it's highly possible that the game will slip to 2027, as Bethesda usually takes an additional 6 months or so to release their game, but it sounds like Microsoft is putting pressure on Bethesda to release the game.
And again, this also sounds true, because Microsoft is definitely putting pressure on Bethesda. I talked about this multiple times. Microsoft buys Bethesda for $8 billion. What do they get? Well, they get fucking Starfield. That's what they get. A game that performed so poorly, Xbox was forced to raise Game Pass prices. But again, mandatory bi-weekly announcement that Game Pass is doing great, it's making more money than ever, and all is good. Whoop. Yes, that's the world we sadly somehow live in, honestly. I don't even know what to say about this. It is just that bad. It is just unironically that bad. The Fallout TV show, Season 1, lightning in a bottle, and I said Season 2 is gonna be... they're gonna be lucky if it's half as good and people care about it. And Season 2 is a complete fucking disaster. Complete disaster. There's no one saying anything good about it. Listen, when Season 1 came around and I talked negatively about the Fallout TV show, because it was an aggressive 5 out of 10, and those videos got like a 50% dislike ratio, which is massive. No video has gotten that bad, honestly, before. And now Season 2 comes along, and negative videos about the Fallout TV show don't even get barely get a 10% dislike ratio. Bro, that is just a collapse. The games didn't receive any boost from Season 2 coming out. Barely any. It's a disaster. Like, it's another disaster. And Microsoft probably put in more money into making Season 2. But the tourists are gone, and the tourists never return. That's how it works.
For their 25th anniversary in 2026.
I mean, I considered reviewing the Fallout TV show, episode by episode, like I did last season. But I haven't even watched it yet. I just kind of don't want to. I literally could not fucking care less, honestly, at this point. Especially now that I know that they completely ruined Mr. House. Like, his motivations, his lore, his character, everything that he was which was an amazing and great character, honestly. Very distinct motivations, very distinctly beneficial to humanity, but not necessarily human-ish, you know, in the sense that they're moral. Because he was the guy who was going to kill you if you, you know, beneficial, but not moral. Great character. And now he's just, well, he's none of those things. He's just an idiot. He's just a retard version of Elijah with like 5 extra chromosomes.
Marketing for Elder Scrolls 6 Iliac will start ramping up in January of 2026, and the information right now is the game will be exclusive to Xbox and PC for a short window, possibly 3 to 6 months before it comes to PlayStation 5. With the leaks of a massive region surrounding Hammerfell, a high coastal water body that allows shipbuilding, ship battles, and even building your own settlement, castle fortresses, and mature, gritty combat mixed with spells and magic powers, it is sounding like Elder Scrolls 6 Iliac is a highly ambitious, true return to form. It also sounds like the game is ready sooner than we thought, and if this is true, I can't wait to see what Elder Scrolls 6 looks like in 2026. And I hope we get to play it not long.
It's gonna be so bad.
After that. This is Colt Eastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video.
Yep, well, that was Colt Eastwood, but just like he said just now, 10 out of 10, boys, you know it's gonna be bad. It doesn't matter if this is 100% true or maybe it's 100% made up. But again, in my mind, it makes too much sense. Because, again, Bethesda has this specific style of self-glazing, self-grandization, and, you know, all of these things. So, if this is a lie, this is, honestly, a well-put-together lie. This is a very well-put-together lie that does actually cover the typical things that you expect from anything Bethesda, and the typical Bethesda game. So, you know, this is not just some kind of random fortune green post. Anyway, bye!